Justin, you're playing Njarðvík in the first round. Is it going to be a dangerous matchup for you? I know Njarðvík are going -4 into the playoffs. So how do you consider that?
Well, it's a good team. You know, it's a tough team. I think that when they entered this season, they weren't expecting to be a 7 seed, and I think that they bring some of that confidence with them into this series. Obviously, not having Logi is a big loss for them. He's a big part of what they do, and he's a great competitor. Really enjoyed competing against him in the playoffs last year. Obviously, we wish him well and hope he gets better soon. They have a lot of talent on that side, though, and they got a lot of hard-working young guys. We feel like with the practices this week, we're getting a game plan together to be successful against them, but we know that it won't happen unless we put it together for 40 minutes on the court.
You know also you're going to meet an opponent with one player especially who knows the Stjarnan team and is probably going to play with a lot of motivation against his old buddies. You predict Jeremy is going to be a problem for you?
Well, the good thing is that we also know Jeremy pretty well. So it goes both ways. We'll be very motivated to play against him. Anytime you see an old friend, you always want to give your best and show your best. They also have Tater on the other side over there that a lot of us are familiar with as well. So really, we're just excited to get into it and see what happens. But like I said, Jeremy's a great guy. He was a great teammate for us last year. We won a cup championship together. So it's going to be fun to be able to get out there against an old friend and compete.
Any particular matchup that you would say would be a plus or a minus for either team?
Well, I think you're looking at Haukar Helgi. You see how we match up with him, and I think we have a couple of guys like Arnthor and Marvin, guys with size that can play against him. And I think for our defensive scheme, being able to help not only on him but on other players when they're driving in their rotations. I think we've gotten much better at that in the second half of the year. Someone like Thomas Hather has been a great defender for us the whole year. Alonzo Coleman is an underrated defensive player in the post. So I think that as a team, if we're all playing on a string, then we're going to be fine. I think that for us, looking at Alonzo Coleman through the course of the season, we've played through him a lot. Getting him his touches, and then being active off the ball with cuts and with screens to open up our shooters. Having Marvin, Thomas Hather, and Adu on the weak side really makes us dangerous to open up the floor for Zoe to be able to go to work. And he's a great passer too. He's just not a guy that you throw it into and is a black hole. He's looking to create for himself and for others, and that's why I think that we were able to get this 2nd seed. A lot of it has to do with Alonzo Coleman and his excellent play in the second half of the year.
Before we let you go, I want to talk about that 2nd seed. Seemed like Stjarnan snuck into the 2nd seed. Are you going to be doing a lot of sneaking around in the playoffs?
Very sneaky. Well, we wanted to be consistent. Second half of the year, we felt like we were a very consistent team, and I think that we just kind of flew under the radar. We weren't winning big. We didn't win too many games by 15, 20 points, but that's not quite our style. We really emphasize defense, and then the offense takes care of itself. We have a lot of good set plays, and we have a lot of good adjustments that we make off of those as well. We think we're playing our best basketball of the season right now. It's starting to come together. The group has gelled very well, and when we get our ball movement going, when we get out in transition, when we can run off stops and off turnovers, that's when we really get dangerous. So we're hoping that people just start to maybe recognize how well we've played throughout the course of the season, and that we continue to show how well we can play throughout the postseason.
Thank you, Justin, and have fun.
No, talk for that.